Hi everyone, my name is Ina and I work for Hasiru Dala. And before I talk about Hasiru Dala and our story, I'm not a very good speaker, so I'm carrying my paper. And I would like to address this that people are coming back from US and working. And same happened with our founder, Nalini Shekhar. I think founder of Unico and Uniki, and our founder was Swadesh together, and they came back and started working here in India. That's what I wanted to say. So I wanted to explain waste pickers in like 4 lines. So me and my colleague Roy sat together and write these lines. So I'm holding those lines. And this is only way I can explain what is the meaning of a waste picker. Waste picker means every piece of waste collected bears the imprint of informal waste picker, unrecognized labor, and their resilience in the face of societal discrimination. Despite enduring unappreciation, waste pickers play a vital role in sustainability by repurposing discarded material into livelihood opportunities for themselves and their communities. Basically, imagine anything you have ever eaten or a box of your Amazon or any brand you have thrown on street. That box is picked by a waste picker to make their livelihood. That is a waste picker. They carry a bag on their shoulder. They are invisible in the society. When the government system fails, when they go on strike, it is the informal sector of waste picker which picks your waste and cleans the street. They wake up at the 3 a.m. in the morning to come before the government cleaners and clean the streets and pick the recyclable material. They later come at the night after 10. That's why. So we are talking about the from invisibility to the self representation. That's how Hasiru Dala started 10 years back. So we have multiple sustainable goals and all our verticals. So we are more like an organization which started working with step 1 and then we realized, oh no, we need this also. Oh no, there is a health problem also in the community. Okay, the children are not going to the school. So this slowly, all SDG goals keep coming in and we keep growing. So this is Hasiru Dala's story. And Dala means, Hasiru means green, Dala means force. It's Kannada word. And this word was given by the waste pickers. It was chosen by them. So there was a group of people who are the founding members who started this organization. And that's how this organization grew in Karnataka. We are in 18 cities, 64 villages, and one city in Andhra also, Rajmandri. And that's how we are working. So we are a non-profit social impact organization talking about social justice, where the people from the informal sector who picks waste need to have their space within the society where they can sort and make their livelihood. They should not go to the landfill and pick. When you cannot segregate your waste and when you know that there is an income related to it. Cardboard has an income. We all used to save newspapers and sell it to the scrap dealer. So there are people who make income out of that scrap, right? So what are all our initiatives? Like I said, we keep growing and we keep adding on to initiatives. So what is our approach? What we do? We are not a building. We are more like a bridge. We are bridge between the waste pickers to the people, to other stakeholders, to the government, to the BBMP, which is a municipality. We talk to them, tell them that these are the waste pickers, give them the identity card, give them the space, give them the insurance of the space which you have given. So we reach out to other ministries or departments to give the children of waste pickers scholarships. So we are more like a bridge. We are the facilitators to the waste pickers. Whatever their needs are, we are there to become that bridge, and so that they can easily cross and don't get lost in that bureaucracy. So these are our verticals. All the colors are related to the SDG goals we work on. SDG goals given by UN, and our verticals also go by the same colors. Bugri. Bugri means spinning top toy that in Hindi it is called Lattu. So that toy is called Bugri in Kannada. So we run small children's library in 12. I'm saying it's small, but it is not small. There is like 12 libraries, and the children come there at the evening. There are some tuitions, there are activities, and that's how we built a young kids as a community and the learning resource. So the next is Hasiru Manne. Hasiru means green, Manne means housing, house. So if you think about climate change, if you ever think about uh, what's happening, I am from Himalayan state, but I work in Bangalore. In 2017, there was a massive flood in Bangalore. It was more like the wettest time, and the slums got flooded. Waste pickers were affected. The community which saves the environment is the first people to get affected by the climate change. This year, or 2023, is the driest for Bangalore. It has not rained in 1.5 years. So, and now they're suffering from, like, we don't have fans, we don't have, and it's so hot to work with a waste in that heat. Imagine the amount of waste and the heat and how they are going to manage it. So the marginalized communities who are saving the environment, also the first community who will suffer the consequences of climate change. That's how the housing team came in. Our housing vertical helps into access of better housing. Talk to the slum board to make the housing like with the solar panels. So that's how we grew in terms of the housing team. Next is, and it started with when 2017 Bangalore got flooded. In 2018, we had to come with a housing team. So we work with communities so closely, and so it happens like they come to us, and you cannot say no. You cannot say no. You're flooded. It's okay. Just go, and we'll help you in earning money to make income. No, we are. Because this, when I said this word was given by the waste pickers, I'm also saying we should not exist in 10 years the way we exist today. And we don't exist like 10 years back. If I start, there was no space for them to run a center of a dry waste collection where they would go to the landfill or roads. Now they have their own space inside the ward where they become an operator. When I'm talking here, they're packing their bags, and they will be attending first electoral congress of waste pickers in Argentina. So 3 waste pickers from Bangalore will go there, and they will cast their first vote to make their own union, and they will be doing that. So we are not saying what we were 10 years back, and I'm glad. But yeah, so community health, another challenge which the community face. Community works with the waste. We don't, okay, so your waste, if you so I was talking to this waste picker. She's a sorter there, and she said, your clothes don't tell anything about you. How you talk doesn't tell anything about you. Your waste tells everything about you. What kind of a person you are, right? And I agree. I totally agree. So if you have left your food in the box you have received and you have sent it to the waste, then you have done a big mistake, and she's going to be unhappy. Let me just tell you this. So the community working with waste, So it is like more like a Pandora box. They open the waste bags, and it could be anything. It could be mercury. It could be hazardous waste. People don't know how to segregate. So the health, we do a lot of health camps. We do during COVID. We had to push it, and we have grown so big. Now we are starting our mental health vertical inside the health, and then we are starting with substance abuse because because the marginalized community do suffer from substance abuse, and there is so much of oppression that ultimately they had to go towards that kind of a substance abuse. So now we are starting and growing in that sense. Next is this, I already told you, livelihood. Livelihood is one of the major part we started with 10 years back, where we asked the municipal corporation, BBMP, to give a space to the waste picker inside the ward where they can sort the dry waste inside the ward, and they can make their income. They don't have to go to the landfill, right? So this what happened with the livelihood, and their livelihood got secured in that way. Then we expanded in 89 wards of Bangalore, which is like almost more than 1/3 of Bangalore, right? And the moment the waste pickers started earning that money, they started giving jobs. So there is a case study about Indumati. She has 88 employees. She was an ex-waste picker. She is now the operator of that facility. And there are 88 employees, and many of them have started their own centers also. So the community is coming together because that opportunity where the big contractors don't act, the small waste picker who was not recognized for their work has gone up and done this work. So livelihood vertical was the start. Ocean and waterways, we do work in Mangalore. We are working with the government in saving that plastic waste should not go to the ocean. It is more like how Hasiru Dala has expanded into different verticals because it was the need. Like I said, like when we went to Mangalore, it was about the ocean. How the solid waste is going to the ocean. Next is textile waste. Okay, so this is where I hold my expertise. So I'll take 2 minutes extra maybe. So if you know what you're wearing, you're very smart. Like you should know what you're wearing. Is it a cotton? Is it a polyester? Or is it a mix? If you're wearing a sari like me, you don't know because you don't have a tag in a sari. Let's start there. If you don't know what you're wearing, you don't know what is the impact when it goes to the landfill. So whenever I do this, people say, oh no, Indians are very good. They make it a pocha and they make a wipe out of it. No. Only your father's t-shirt become a pocha. Have you ever seen your mother's sari become a pocha? Just tell me. Yeah? No. Correct. No. Right? So there is a stock of clothes in your cupboard, and so your best shirt is also not becoming a pocha. Your pant also is not becoming a pocha. It would be a very bad pocha also if you make a pant a pocha. So we worked in like 8 months, and there was 130 metric ton, 138,000 textile waste we collected from 8 wards, only 8 wards of Bangalore, right? And we had to, and we are like, now what we have to do? So South India is suffering. Let me just tell you, with textile waste, there is no facility which can recycle it. It is in Panipat. Across the world is suffering because across the world material is coming to Panipat to get recycled. If you have time today, just type Panipat recycling, and then you will understand how much textile waste is coming to Panipat. And South India don't have anything. So we had to add extra money and send it to Panipat and get it recycled. 138 metric ton. Next is our MRF, which is Material Recovery Facility, where you collect the material. It has to come to this. It cannot be mixed. It has to be either PET bottles or we have multiple material recovery facility. One is in Andhra. If anyone wants to visit there, you can. You are welcome to Bangalore also to visit our material recovery facility and see how we work, how the work has organically grown in a way that we are able to trace the material. If you had a Bisleri bottle, you had drink this, and you have sent it to the correct waste system, it will get recycled. Don't think that plastic won't get recycled. Plastic has a price. I am not saying, but I'm just saying you need to understand you cannot mix with wet waste. You cannot mix it with you cannot, like your PET bottle, you cannot stuff it with your Lay's packet because that is a multi-layer plastic and that is a PET plastic. So you need to understand. I know it is difficult, but it has to be a behavioral change. And you cannot come tomorrow and say, oh, India is dirty. Yeah, it is dirty because. Okay, so this is more like a data collection team who does all the data collection. We have massive data of 25,000 waste pickers and their families for across verticals. And we work with DWCC and we work with BBMP and other government partners. These are on our website, the publications. You can go and read them, and resources are available online. So you can definitely go and read these resources. Our policy and advocacy. When I talked about plastic, so when EPR, Extended Producer's Responsibility, does anyone know what is EPR? No. So when somebody made a water bottle, then they have a responsibility to get it recycled. Okay, so that is called Extended Producer's Responsibility. But how it has to be done, so there is these points and then they have to tell how much was recycled and all this. So there is a whole informal waste picker system, right? Who does collect these, like the waste pickers we work with, they collect all the plastics and send it to the recycler. But when the government introduced EPR, they kept waste pickers outside this whole system. Whatever is collected in informal sector by waste picker is not calculated. We don't know about it. So we are pushing for an EPR to include waste pickers. So these links are also available on our website. Social security, we have kept it the last, but it is not the least. It is the foundation of Hasiru Dala, where they came together. It is one of the biggest team also. And the people are from across age group. And when I first entered Hasiru Dala, and I was like, oh, there are so many women. Because these women go to the community, they get the bank paper done, PAN done, Aadhaar done. The first thing was the IDs, where we came, like, pushed government to give waste pickers the ID of a waste picker. That was the first ID. We are talking about the people who don't have any documents, right? And then that first ID came then, and it's endless. Now there are waste pickers, 88 waste pickers have paid income tax, right? And there are waste pickers who got themselves registered as an entity, and they are registered as GST entity. So it is not same what we were 10 years back. It is very different, and I'm glad it is different. I hope in future 10 years when we are talking about us, it is much more better. So zero waste is more like a pilot or a model where we talk about how your own ward. So we have a pilot in a police colony in Kormangala in Bangalore, where all the waste which happens inside that police colony is is segregated, sorted, everything is done there. Now they have, just yesterday they were sending, oh, we have got so much of compost, and now they started selling it. So this is the ideal vision for us. The inside one ward, whatever waste is generated, it is treated there. And if you see, the landfill we are talking about should be scientifically managed. It should not, if it is creating a gas, that gas can always be used by the machinery you need. You cannot pile up in the end of outside the cities and pollute the villages who are living there and pollute their water. And then you end up saying that this is like the water is getting polluted. So it's important we hold that responsibility and see where our waste goes. If you don't know today where your waste goes, it's a problem. You should know where this waste ends, right? Even if you're doing a mixed waste, you will generate that kind of awareness. For that behavioral change, the amount of GHG we are producing, so we have a responsibility for next generation to give away what we got. We cannot ruin it. If it was a lot of plastic, let's just say we brought this is the plan, this is how we are going to behave. So I would suggest you all to start segregation, think about it. And if you think, oh, jo collect karne aate hain wo mila dete hain, nahi, they pick valuables. What are you saying? Everyone knows that they have to pick the plastic bottles, they have to pick the cardboards. They know exactly, they do it. They take the vehicle to the centers and they pick it out because you have mixed it. That does not make sense. Okay, thank you so much. So we have many verticals. If you all want to do the internships in different verticals, we have a research vertical also. So please let us know. You can mail us, you can contact us online, and our comms team is good enough to respond to all the mails. Thank you.